Hey, welcome back to another sketchbook video. This one was a struggle, and not so much that I was like trying to think of what I was going to make or anything. I kind of went with my first thought and let it be what it was going to be. I had to do something simple. The reason this was difficult is because I have been dizzy since Friday. Just really dizzy, and it doesn't go away. So, yeah. I was kind of hoping it would, and whenever I realized it wasn't going to, I decided I was going to try to make this video on Monday, which ended up being my dizziest day so far, and I was actually super nauseous and hanging on by a thread. So a couple times I actually had to stop and just kind of be very still, stare at the ceiling, close my eyes, whatever, to try to let it pass. So I hope this picture looks okay. I haven't been able to look at it and not have it be moving or spinning or whatever. So hopefully it looks okay. It was difficult. It really was. And I don't dislike it. Maybe that's just because I can't see it very well. But I was very excited to make a video anyways, even if it was difficult. Because I didn't think I was going to have the time. Actually, I was supposed to work that Monday, and because of how dizzy I was pretty much like, I can't be in a car all day long, and I definitely should not be out in front of a huge group of steers trying to feed them, because if I fall down, there's a high chance that they will trample me, so yep, decided to stick it at home, and then I was like, well, I can't just do nothing, and yeah, I was able to do a video, so is what it is. You can see it's a little skewed, at least I think it's skewed. That's not just the ribbon. But I do take it down onto my lap and try to fix it the best that I could. That's me deciding I needed to fix it now. So yeah, I did my best. Kind of a sad thing was I was super excited. I had ordered the sketch collection that Cosmic Spectrum put out. I have followed her work for a really long time, like since she posted it in forums. And yeah, I had ordered that. I was waiting for it to come in. I was very, very excited. Been excited for months. It's been the only thing keeping me going sometimes. And it came in on that Monday, which I was very glad about. And I can't even really look at it because everything is spinning. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can get the dizziness to chill out enough for me to try to enjoy that book, because I'm so excited for it. So the first thing that I thought of whenever I was going to sit down and do a page was obviously that I needed to do something more simple than usual, because of the fact that it was going to take me a while. I knew it was going to, and I wasn't going to be able to handle anything crazy, and this was barely over an hour and a half of footage, but it took me all day to get it because I couldn't sit there the whole time and work on it in one go. I just felt too awful. So first thing that came to mind was somebody wearing a hood, and originally I was going to give them some sort of animal face or default to some sort of skull shape, but then I ended up coming up with this guy, and whenever I couldn't get his eye right, I ended up giving him just kind of like this eye getting taken over by the animalistic part. So hopefully it works out. Oh, if you're seeing that, I don't know if you can see the bump necessarily on my index finger, but you can see the skin. Our dog tried to jump off the trampoline, and we let him sit up there because he likes to be up higher where he can see. And he tried to jump off and chase an animal, and I whipped my head around, which is a horrible idea currently. Makes me feel like the whole world has dropped out from under me. You know what? No, it makes me feel like a cartoon character that slipped on a banana peel and they do the whole flip and then fall on their face. Yeah, that's what it makes me feel like. And so all I could do is kind of blindly grab for his leash. He's not going to hurt anything. I just don't want him to get hurt running. So I ended up grabbing his leash, and the only thing that caught hold of me was this plastic piece that's on the handle, and it really smashed into my fingers, and despite it being blunt, it drew a little bit of blood, so that was fun. So that's just what that is. Luckily it doesn't look as gnarly as it did after I got it. I really thought it was going to bruise horribly given my track record, but it didn't, so thankfully I am free from horribly bruised fingers, although it feels bruised still, not steel. So got to use my brush pen again. That was an interesting choice. Luckily I was still able to control it. Hope you don't mind the occasional pauses. You can just enjoy the background noise. Just getting my bearings occasionally. I decided to skip a lot of the fill-in stuff because it's kind of, redundant. So yep, that kind of helped it become a much shorter video whenever I edited it this morning, so I could not do any editing yesterday. But I managed it this morning, so. Video is obviously a bit late. But I did manage to get one out, so I'm happy about that. Also felt really nice to draw in my sketchbook, something that looked a little more finished. Whenever I was opening it in the first part of this video, what you saw there was once again just market sketches, and I was pretty dizzy that day too, but it kind of helped that I was focusing on something. Not really the case now, but it was nice then. And that one page ended up bleeding through crazy amounts, which was fine, honestly, because I just ended up drawing that character. Looks a little creepy. I'd like to ink him, maybe. I don't know. I would like his hair to be white, I think. But, yep, I decided to just put him on there because the colors and the wildness would kind of suit him. Then I want to head in with this lighter gray highlighter. I thought it would look nice and add a little bit more depth. Honestly, I could have maybe just left it where it was after I did the inking and a little bit of the gray. Except for maybe the horns. Even if I just added a little accent color for the horns, I think it would have been totally fine to leave it that way. But I had already had the idea that this was going to be like the caution tape and whatnot. Although I was a little, disappointed when I got to the lettering because I couldn't even try to do nice lettering because I couldn't see, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm not really that angry about it. It is what it is. You can read what it says, so that's fine. Or at least I can, so. Yeah, I went pretty simple. Don't even get a hand or anything in this one. Just some strips of tape and a face. I was really nervous when I started inking too. Am I gonna be able to do this? But I guess it was fine because the sketching wasn't even super terrible. So here we're gonna get into the yellow. It was kind of pulling some of my ink lines, I think from the brush pen, now and then, but I don't really mind. Most of the time it's just adding a little bit more interest anyway. I really like how much the chisel ends up covering. You can kind of use it to make shapes that can kind of branch off into, what would you call that? It's kind of almost a screen tone look, I would say, like halftones. But yeah, I like doing that sometimes too. Not in this moment, I just did some filling in. I wasn't even making any intricate, cool things. I considered hatching it a few times and just making it look interesting, but nah. Nah, I needed to finish up. Thankfully I did. I don't know what I have with blue horns, but that's reoccurring. So yeah, you can see with the lettering it just wasn't very clean. That is one of my little calligraphy markers that I've shown. I use to fill in things, and I'm not going to use a water-based thing over the top of it. And I do like to do calligraphy. I'm not very good at it, usually better than this, but I'm not very good at it. But I really enjoy practicing it. I think it's fun, especially like more of the gothic looking text and stuff. I think it looks really, really gorgeous. I was really into what's his name? It's like Theosony, or I don't know, whatever, back in the day. But they did like graffiti. Calligraffiti, I think, is what people ended up calling it, and I thought that was the coolest back in the day. Still pretty heavy with like writing in cursive and stuff, and honestly it's just because it's really fast for me personally, and I don't think my printed writing is very neat, so but I didn't practice it as much. I did a lot of writing when I was a kid. I used to write stories in notebooks instead of on a computer. I just wanted to make it look like it was running, so I took the ballpoint pen I had left out. I knew I was going to use it for something, and ended up using it for that, and then adding some like little weathered spots around the tape. There we go. That's the finished picture. Hope you like it. I'm very, very sorry that it ended up being late. But yeah, I do hope everybody likes it. This is me just filling in my signature, my cleaver. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day or night, and bye.